Michael, Chris, how you guys doing?
Good man, how are
Good. How are
you?
you doing?
Oh, man, you guys at a bar? You guys doing the
We
interviews
are.
from a bar?
We're at the dive bar in Sacramento.
Yep.
That's how perfect.
Yeah,
Uh,
still waiting for our drinks though.
well, I'm glad you guys took a few minutes to talking about Sacramento. I really enjoyed the movie. I just watched it earlier today.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Michael, I'll start with you, man. I'll be honest, you're one of those actors that I've watched now. I always said that guy's probably going to make a movie one day. Sometimes you can watch actors and kind of tell. Is that something you've always wanted to do, or was it something that kind of came recently for you?
To be honest, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I think from when I was maybe 15, 16 years old and I had been working already at that point for a while. I always knew I always enjoyed writing, and directing was always something I wanted to try. And then I was actually able to make my first film, Avenues, about 10 years ago now. And that was more of a proof of concept for me. I love that movie and I'm so proud of it. But Sacramento was always something you know, we wanted we wanted to make. So it was always sort of the dream.
Chris, where did the two of you come up with the idea for the story, and then creating these two characters, who I think they're both pretty unique and very special in their own ways.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so we were unemployed actors in LA, and we were driving around the city as you do, bored as hell because we don't have any work. And we started driving up the 5 North, and Mike goes, "Hey, you want to go to Sacramento?" And I'm like kind of like a little bit like more of the responsible one in the relationship, so
At that point.
I so, so I sort of sarcastically replied like, "Yeah, yeah, let's just take a 6 hour trip, totally upend my day and weekend to for no reason just because you want to be spontaneous. Yeah, sure." And it kind of turned into a dare where we went back and forth like that for a little while. And the scene kind of just made us laugh. And we ended up not going to Sacramento on that trip, but we did start writing the movie based on that.
Well, then that makes me have to ask the question: which one of you is more like Ricky, and which one of you is more like Glenn?
We're not either of us entirely
You used to be a Ricky, though.
more Ricky.
What's crazy is that we've been making this movie for so long that we've both changed quite a bit. And the movie's grown as we've grown, and we've sort of been able to add a little more depth to the characters
Yes.
in the later years. And in the funny, weird stuff that happened still from the earlier years has still stayed in the movie.
Yeah.
You were a Ricky.
On the
were a Ricky.
I wasn't but on the Ricky Glenn spectrum. I leaned Ricky.
Yeah.
But by the time we made the film, I swear to God, I leaned more Glenn.
Now he's a bit more of a Glenn. Yeah.
I'm a bit more of a Glenn.
Yeah.
I have children now, and I have probably more stress and anxiety now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, as Glenn says in the movie, I have different priorities.
yes, exactly.
Mhm. So fatherhood and parenting was a big influence on the movie, on the making of the movie itself.
Well, I've said this. It would be really interesting if we had the opportunity to make this movie 5 or 6 years ago before children were in the picture. I'm sure it would have been different, and I'm sure in the last 4 years of having of experiencing parenthood, that the script and the story was infused by so many different things subconsciously. But I would be really curious to make that movie 5 or 6 years ago, if we were able to make that movie, what it would have turned out to be.
Yeah, I
Me
think
being
It would have been totally different.
yeah, me being a big wrestling fan, I love the wrestling sequence in the middle of the movie with AJ Mendez. AJ leads to wrestling fans. Talk to me about, first of all, getting AJ to be in the movie, and then just where that whole idea came from. Did you guys, in your little journey, did you guys end up in a wrestling ring at some point?
Well,
she was like, "I'll do it if one of you can 3 count me."
yeah,
And we tagged him. We both lost. She did it anyway.
yeah.
No, she's awesome. Like, we're so glad we got her.
Her tape was just really funny.
Yeah.
I'm a big wrestling fan, and I didn't really know of her. Like, I think she was after my time of watching wrestling, but I was aware of her, but when she sent in her tape, it was just one of the few tapes that she was just really funny. She
Yeah.
got it. And she's also in this career transition where she's no longer wrestling, but she's a writer now. And that really worked for the character. And it was she brought a real truth to it that I feel translates so well to the part.
Yeah.
So, but the wrestling stuff,
Right.
all of that was
That
really
came out of, oh yeah, we took a trip to Sacramento and we met a lot of people here. We kind of just like, I did a little research and we kind of talked to some locals, and there's a huge like MMA community here. We were at a bar, and I think one of the people we were talking to was like, see that guy over there? He fought both Diaz brothers.
yeah, that's right.
And we
That's
were like,
totally right.
how'd he do? He goes, he lost both.
And opened the bar.
Yeah, he might
I
have.
think
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
his
know.
bar.
But in any case, we were like, we got to incorporate that into the movie. So we made the two sort of female characters that Ricky and Glenn hang out with in Sacramento. We made them former fighters, and that sort of sprung the idea of them having a gym with a wrestling ring. And we were like, oh man, imagine these guys getting a wrestling ring. That would be so fun.
It was always centered around this theme for us of masculinity and the modern man, and the idea that these two women were like physically fit and tough and former fighters, just thematically felt aligned with what we were trying to say and do with the rest of the script.
Chris, did you have any ideas about starring in the movie yourself?
We were always open to casting, and I love acting. I'm an actor as well.
Mhm.
But as soon as Mike Cera kind of the idea of him came into my mind, I just became so kind of enamored with that. He's like one of my favorite actors. This guy's my number one, but Mike Cera is definitely up there.
But
And
Chris
like,
is also like we did a pilot together 10 years ago, and that's the thing that's really the reason why Sacramento exists, because this pilot that we both acted in together, it didn't get picked up, but it was a great pilot.
oh, it's so fun.
And Chris is a fucking hysterical and one of my favorite actors too. I will always say that
You're just saying that because I said it. It's okay.
It's not
just,
have
when you
I
say
said
that,
this?
you've never said that to me.
I've said
me
this.
saying you're my favorite actor.
No.
And until you
I've said the audition that when Chris auditioned for that pilot, I had already had the part, but it was one of, I think, the best auditions that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, I love acting. Acting has a very special place in my heart. I love writing. I loved being a part of this as a writer, watching Mike kind of grow into this like amazing director as well. It's just been awesome.
Are you guys going to continue making movies together? You got anything else in the works?
Yeah, we got a really Sacramento 2 is actually what we're gonna do next. No, we're thinking maybe we've got another road trip idea, but we're working out some kinks and sort of ironing out some details there.
Yes, I've also had a second child in the last year, so
He keeps making up excuses. Oh, I got a baby, the baby needs to eat, the baby's crying, stuff like that. So not sure how much I believe all that stuff, but
listen, you're welcome to come and hang out at the house.
we could try.
You try and write in between bottles.
Baby cries. Yeah.
Keeps having babies. You can't make movies, man. I mean, it's a built-in excuse.
That's right.
All right, before I go, I always like to ask this question, from filmmakers, is what do you hope people take away from your movie when they see it?
I first of all, I hope that they kind of connect with this idea that it's like there's a kid inside of you, right? There's a kid inside of you, and there are certain people that bring that kid out of you. And I think as you get on in life, you tend to maybe drift away from some of those people. But those people are there in your life. And if you need to tap into that relationship to sort of bring out that joy, it's available to you. And I hope it makes them think of those people in their lives. That's what I hope.
That's nice. That's nice.
Thanks.
The movie was born out of us having fun writing this thing together, really using it as an excuse to hang out. And the actual filming of it was this amazing experience that I'm even more than the film actually coming out and being shown and shared with the world, I'm the thing that I'm most proud of is how great of a time we had and what a great experience it was making it. And if people have as much fun watching it as we did making it, that, I feel like that's the only thing I could really ask for.
Well, thanks a lot, you guys. I really appreciate you taking time with me. I wish you the best of luck with the film, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon on whatever you guys do next. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks a lot,
Appreciate it.
guys. Have a drink for me.
All right, we
Will
will.
do.
As soon as we when
Thanks,
He's
guys.
welcome.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.